Hello, everybody. Welcome to Ham Radio DX. I'm Hayden, amateur radio call sign Victor Kilo 7 Hotel Hotel. And in this video, I'm going to be answering your questions that you have posted to me. I put a post up on Twitter, on my YouTube community page, Instagram, and I think also Facebook as well, asking for your questions and if you wanted to ask me anything. So this is basically an Ask Me Anything segment, and I was just going to answer a couple of the questions that I saw pop up in the comments. You probably can hear in my voice that I don't quite sound exactly as I normally do. I do have a little bit of a cold at the moment. I've been dealing with that over the past couple of days, so slowly getting over that. So I do apologise for the audio quality of the video. So let's get on to the first Q&A question and see what we got. Okay, so All About DX asks, if money was no issue, how would your dream station look like? Thanks to 73 Kevin VK4KK. Well, I guess, if money's no issue, you could pretty much build whatever station you like, couldn't you? I like to build my station around. Well, actually, it's a bit. I like to build things. That's the thing. I like to build antennas and stuff. So I'm not exactly sure whether I'd spend the money on like a really good, really high end radio. Maybe a flex radio. I've seen those and they look pretty good. They're fairly expensive, but. I think actually no. If money was no issue, my dream station would probably be a remote station because I could basically pick wherever I wanted to put it. I'd buy a plot of land somewhere in the middle of nowhere and maybe up on top of a hill and operate from up there. So that's probably what my dream station would look like, I guess. I mean, I'm fairly happy with the standard radios like the IC 7300 and the 9700 that I've got. And I mean they work just as well as any other radio that I've ever had before. So I don't think having a having a hugely high end station or a hugely high end radio, would make much of a difference to me. But definitely the flex radio, that's not a bad one. I probably wouldn't mind that. Decent tower, obviously. I'd build quite a high tower, plenty of antennas. I'd probably build. Well, if it was a remote station and I had the space, then what I would do is I would place multiple towers on that location, and then I could have multiple antennas, probably some decent sized Yagis for 20 meters, and some of the higher HF bands as well. So yeah, that's probably what my dream station would look like. Not really exciting, but that's what I'd look like. Don't think it's ever going to happen though. Chris Wilson asks, what is the shortest band or the highest frequency band you've worked another station on, and what were the details of the equipment, QSO, etc.? Very good question. Thank you, Chris. So the highest frequency band that I've worked another station on is 3.4 gigahertz. I have, in our local area here in Hobart, Tasmania, we have quite a few operators who run 10 gigahertz. There is also there's one that's got 24 gigahertz as well. But I've never had a QSO on 10 gigahertz. I don't have the equipment for it, so I can't really claim that I have. I mean, I've been present at a QSO when it's been happening. That was a 10 gigahertz EME contact. So 3.4 gigahertz is the highest band that I've ventured up to. In actual fact, in the next few weeks, I'm doing a presentation on Josh Ham Radio Crash Course on microwaves and how I got into that and how I've begun my microwave journey on microwaves on the high band. So so look out for that because that's quite an interesting thing. But yeah, 3.4 gigahertz. I do hold the digital record in Australia for 3.4 gigahertz. We sent FT8 over 500 kilometers, I think. I'll put an overlay below of what the record was, how far it was. There is a video of that on my YouTube channel. I'll put it up into the cards up here so that you can watch it. And the next lowest band, which is not that much further down, it's 2.4 gigahertz. I've actually also managed to make a contact over 2,000 kilometers. So that was to New Zealand from here. So there's also a video for that. So I'll pop that up in the cards as well. So yeah, thank you very much, Chris, for your question. Oh, before I actually go on from Chris's question, so the equipment that I used I used transverters. It's all in the videos above, but I used transverters, a couple of grid packs, and I think I used, what was the 3.4 gigahertz contact was using a 90 centimeter offset dish. So that was just a homebrew thing, an X satellite dish antenna with a coffee can feed, tomato soup can feed at the end. So all the details anyway in the video, so you can check that out. So one here on Twitter, Andy says, for someone interested in getting started with zero prior knowledge, where would you recommend beginning? Any resources, books, blogs, videos? Okay, so I sort of have to break this into two things. If you're based in Australia, the book that I would recommend is by Peter Parker, VK3YE. It's the Australian Amateur Ham Radio Handbook. That's available at JCar stores, and I'll put a link below in the description for that. Peter's goes through an awful lot of detail in such a small book. There's so much to the hobby, but he covers a lot of it in this book, and it's great for beginners, that's for sure. The other thing that I've also got on my channel is a playlist to my local radio club, which run foundation training courses. So they've run a foundation license training course and done some videos on it. So check out those videos as well. As far as for my viewers in the United States or maybe in the United Kingdom, I would recommend that you go and check out Ham Radio Crash Course. Josh, his videos on the technician license, if you want to get started there. He's done plenty of videos on that and on getting started. Ham Radio 2.0, Jason, he's also done plenty of tech classes as well. So just have a look for his videos. In the United Kingdom, I'm not too sure who does videos in the UK on getting started, but I'm sure if you search on YouTube that you'll find someone. I can only say that Callum from DX Commander, he explains things as far as antennas are concerned in a very easy to understand way. So check out Callum's website if you're interested in YouTube channel if you're interested in antennas. But yeah, another good source of information for beginners is Wikipedia. Just look up Wikipedia and all of the glossaries and terms, and the ARRL website as well. The ARRL's got a glossary on it as well, so you can understand all of the terms. So check out those resources. So I hope that helps. Thank you, Andy. Paul VK3HN, I had a video with Paul not too long ago. I'll put that in the cards as well. I'm not sure how many cards I can put in this video, but if not, it'll be in the description below. He was talking about QRP, so check out Paul's YouTube channel on that video as well. Paul says, where do you want to be with your ham radio activities in 5 years' time? Very good question. I struggle sometimes to think ahead. 5 years' time, what's that, 2026? Well, I think that the hobby's going to it's going to progress. So I know that there's always been talk whether the hobby's dying out and things like that, but I don't think so. We're probably going to see more on the digital mode front, that's for sure. I know Joe Taylor works very hard in the WSJT side of things, so we'll see quite a few digital modes going on there. In 5 years' time, actually, I'm very looking forward to Solar Cycle 25. So I don't have my shack all set up correctly at the moment. I'm hoping that I'll have a fully set up shack, and I'll have primarily I want 10 meters and 6 meters operational from home. Ideally, I want to get my Yagi back up for 6 meters. I'll put a photo up of the Yagi that I did have up for 6 meters a number of years ago, and I do still have that. It's packed away, but I want that Yagi back up in the air, and I also want a 10 meter Yagi as well, because I really want to work the DX with the Solar Cycle Peak. So in 5 years' time, the YouTube channel here takes up quite a bit of my time, so I would really like the channel to progress a little bit. I'm just short of 10,000 subscribers, so I'm really trying to push towards that 10,000K mark. I know what some other creators, YouTube creators, have done in such a short period of time. I can only imagine how much higher I could go. I mean, I'm surprised that I've even got to 10,000 subscribers, to be quite honest. It's it is a realistic. Well, I suppose it's a realistic goal. I'd really like to get to 100,000 subscribers. Um, I mean, there's only a handful of creators that have got there. There's some that are well on the way to getting towards 100,000 subscribers. This is ham radio related as well. I don't think I'll ever get there. It is a nice goal, but I don't think I'll ever get there. I feel like on this channel that I'm probably not interesting enough, and I probably don't do interesting enough content to get to 100,000. But that said, that's just my personal opinion. I mean, I have to thank everyone who watches and views the videos. I mean, it's you guys who support the channel. So ultimately, I guess it's up to you how good this goes. But yeah, I mean, a realistic goal in 5 years' time, maybe 25,000 subscribers. That would probably be a realistic goal. 25,000, that's double and a little bit more. So yeah, that's where I sort of want to be in 5 years' time as far as the channel's concerned. And all I want to be doing is doing what I've been doing for the past 17 years in ham radio, and just having fun, building things, working the stations. And one goal actually that I just did think of that I do want to do is I want to promote ham radio in Australia. I want to get more people interested. We've got such a low amateur radio count here in Australia, and I really want to improve that and get it skyrocketing, as it were. So we'll have to see how we go. But thank you, Paul, very much for your question. Okay, and the final question comes from Kevin KC3ONO. What would it take to get you to try out a Yaesu FT-DX10? I think once you operate one, you will be a convert. Well, probably someone needs to send me an FT-DX10. I probably don't have the funds to go and buy one to try out. I don't know anyone that's got one locally to try out, but yeah, I mean, someone wants to send me an FT-DX10, go right ahead, and I'll definitely do a video on it. What's the best mic for ham radio audio? I'm not a expert on ham radio audio. I mean, I've got this Shure microphone which I use for my streaming and recording, which I did do a video on interfacing that to my IC7300. So you know, I mean hand mics are pretty good. You know, it depends on how much money you really want to spend. I mean, you could spend thousands of dollars on your audio if you really wanted to, which is completely fine if you want to do that. And you know, sometimes it's really, really worth the money spent because you sound really, really good on air, and especially for contesting and things like that. But yeah, I'm not really sure what the best mic is for ham radio audio. But thank you very much, Kevin. So thank you, everybody, for sending those questions in. I really do appreciate you taking the time to ask me those, and to give me a bit of food for thought anyway for the future. So once again, thank you very much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please hit the thumbs up button. If you do know someone who's interested in ham radio, please share this channel with them, and also ask them to subscribe. And I would really appreciate if you could do that too. So thank you, everyone, and 73 for now from Hayden VK7HH.